Now joined by the former Washington football player, Santana Moss.
Let him get that headset on. All good over there. We're live here. Thank you for joining us, Santana. How are you, man?
Thank you for having me, fellas. What's up?
What's up? We are enjoying the time here, enjoying yourself as well here in Charlestown.
Oh, this is something this is a place that I know well, too well when it comes to, having my years of playing here. This is one of our little areas what we call home away from home. We will always come out here and gamble, man. I'd be on the blackjack or playing craps or doing, and then when they got the poker in the back, I was heavy in the poker game. But I'm very familiar with over here, buddy.
Why are you here today then?
Well, today, I'm here for the grand opening of the ESPN bet. This is, something I think it was a long time coming. This casino has, I guess you can say, been overlooked when it comes to a lot of that stuff. But it's great now that they have something like this, man, a little place you can get away from when you're not doing so well on those tables. And you're, degenerate when it comes to, betting, sports betting. You got a spot right here. You can come pull up. Go have some good wings, have some good food, have some good drinks, and, get your bet on and watch some football and watch some, whatever sport you partake in.
Yeah, bet on the Commanders.
All the time.
It was a great year. Obviously, unfortunately, came to a rough end. But what did you like about getting to see this year's team here in Washington?
Just the new culture that was set, the particular that you're probably going to expect for the next years to come when it comes to players-wise. I just think as a whole, man, people think that you could just win. You can't just go into a season and expect to win if you don't build a foundation or set the foundation. And that's what this staff came in and did from the start, from the top, with Josh Harris's, being the owner and just getting the right guys, Magic Johnson and those guys around the Mark Ian, all those guys that contribute to being one of those owners, those owners that have kind of, I guess you can say, put their hand into what this organization should be about. And that's just the winning formula that Dan Quinn and Adam Peters brought to the table, and just picking the right guys. I think when you look at the team as a whole, the players fit what we was doing. And it's been so many years that I've been here as a player, and now almost 11 years that I've been following this team, from the seat I've been in, doing some of the stuff in broadcasting, seeing that you bring in guys but that don't fit what we do as an offense or a defense. And to me, this has been the first year in a long time that I've seen player for player that we brought in and that we kept fit what we was doing, fit the scheme we was doing, whether it was offensively, defensively, or special teams.
And you were on the last team to win a playoff game.
Yeah.
It was the year you were traded to Washington. So just what's it like for you to see this fan base that has kind of been through a lot of the tough seasons to finally have a winning year? I
saw this day coming. I was a guy that when I was playing, I wanted that to happen when I was a player. And when I stopped playing, when I came back around, when I got into doing some of the stuff, following the team, covering the team, that day is going to come. It's going to come sooner or later because this fan base deserved it. And I was happy and fortunate that I'm a part of the team at the capacity I am now to actually see it. And I think that's the start. That's the start level of what this thing can be if you go out there and produce a winning, team. And that's what it's about. And people got caught up in the name. People got caught up in the logo. All I was caught up in is be a winner, and all that stuff will be put to the side. You'll see a lot of that being put to rest. And it was great to see this fan base come back, man. I mean, it was great to see how some of the things have changed in the stadium alone before we started winning to allow the fan base to be appreciative of what they was trying to do here. And then now to go out there and win, to go out there and actually have your quarterback, to have a coach that, instilled what he instilled in these guys, what more could you ask for? So I'm pleased, to say the least, man, that, we all can look forward to something bigger and better, in the future.
You already kind of mentioned just being on the broadcast side of things now, getting to follow this team. What are some of maybe those special moments that really stood out to you here in this past season?
Man, I think it started in Cincinnati.
I agree, and I was at that game.
That was
the
game that started it all, man. I remember the feeling I felt to actually play in a primetime game and and come out of there victorious on the road. And the way it ended with Terry catching that pass from Jaden, and I remember that discussion me and Terry had. We was doing a post-game show. I'm a part of the Game Day Live crew, and we doing pre and post game there live on the field. And I remember that hug Terry gave me. It was something unique about it. And I was like, as a player, I remember expressing, what I felt, my gratitude, my appreciation of the moment that had just transpired, whether it was the Monday Night Miracle, or whether it was the game where I had to walk off at home against Jacksonville, or the Christmas Eve game against the Giants. I remember moments as a receiver individually having some highs where what I expressed to whether it was my family or someone else, it made me realize that's the moment Terry was having at that moment. He hugged me, and he's like, Tanner, they could it's gonna put the kids to sleep now. Now they know that I can make that catch every time. Every time you need something, need a clutch play, you can throw the ball to me. And to me, that's where it started. So to say that was the starting point, and then to see where we ended, we would have loved for it to end a little differently. It didn't, but that's how the season sometimes comes to an end, and it just gives you something to look forward to, for the future.
For you as well, just you've been in the broadcasting side of things with this team. What else have you been involved in with Washington recently?
Oh, nothing. I mean, just honestly, man, I do a bunch of shows on YouTube, whether it's the Command Center Pod and the Players Club, and then, like I said before, doing the Game Day Live crew. I'm a part of the Game Day Live crew. Me, Brian Mitchell, and Brian Colbert Jr. That's what I've been doing, man, honestly. I've been around, and my bad, I'm lying. I do a lot of the stuff that I'm doing today. Like I'm one of those guys they call upon, to go out there and, greet the fans, whether it's at something, they're having at the stadium or something they're doing with another organization. So, yes, I have been busy, outside the broadcast and stuff when it comes to just being one of those, I guess you can say, ambassadors for the team. That's what I take a lot of pride in doing that also, too, man, because I bleed this burgundy and gold thing. I feel like once I got here, that's what I was going to be about. I feel like it was destined for me to be here from the start because, in the draft, I have the video now, that's what they was talking about in 2001. That's where I should have been drafted at. And Dan Snyder wanted me to come. He wanted me out of college. And, I end up going to New York. They end up getting Rod Gardner. 4 years later, I'm here. I'm here in the trade. And that was the year that they didn't try to come after me. So, the reason why I love this team as much as I do is because I feel like it was destiny for me to be here. And it's been like that since I've been here. It's been a whirlwind. It's been one of those moments that you feel like you're always on a high. And even through the down years, I was always on a high with this team.
Bringing it back to what's in store here today for this grand opening of the ESPN Bet Sportsbook, what do you have left coming up that people can come out, meet and greet with you, and have a few more good times placing bets maybe for the big game coming up here?
Besides what I'm doing today, I have a event, if I'm not mistaken, on the 6th of February next week. I'm going to post it on Instagram, so if you don't follow me on 8 to the 9, and I post a lot of my stuff. I have an event that particular day, and then I have an event at the Fan Fest at the stadium for the Super Bowl game. I'll be there, with everybody who's going to be partaking in the little festivities there and watching the game. But I stay busy, man. I will be doing a lot of these things, so I don't have a lot of that stuff at the top of my head right now. But I'm sure that I'm going to be posting a lot of my stuff, as the week goes on.
You mentioned coming down here as a player. Do you have any funny stories or great memories from coming down here during your playing days?
We're coming to Charlestown?
The casino?
Yeah, man, you know what? I have a good one, man. I remember one night I hit big, man. I was playing blackjack, if I'm not mistaken, and that was probably the most I've won, in blackjack. And I remember it was big because considering like I'm not a heavy gambler. I'm one of those ones. Hey, I would probably go up to $100, a bet. And someone told me you got to go at the high stakes table. You can't do it with the little league. You can't be in the little. You got to be in the big league. So I'm like, all right, man, I'm gonna go over here. And I started betting 100, and man, I don't know. I think I left out of here with 10,000 plus.
Wow.
And I was like, man, get the car. That's tipped the valet well, and we going home. But you know, you look at it like it's a guy with all this money, but it's fun to win. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
It's fun to win, especially when that big. And I have been a part of a lot, especially in Vegas. I've won big in other places, Miami, Vegas, you name it. But here, I hadn't won big here, and I remember coming here so much, playing blackjack, playing craps, or going back to playing poker. And that particular night was my night, man. So I ran up out of here, and that's probably the last time they saw me.
You might get more opportunities because I know you mentioned the command center and being the broadcast here.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's still in the works or not, but Washington might start having that preseason at Shepherd. Here in Shepherdstown, right down the road.
Hey, man,
as well.
If anybody listening, call on your guy.
So
8 to the 9.
Hopefully,
I'm willing.
This area becomes the home away from home, not only for you with that, but for the entire team. So you got a Super Bowl pick, by the way? Anything?
You know, I'm one of those guys. I never give a good answer. So what I would say is I believe that Philly is the better team, but it's hard to bet against Andy and Pat. So I'm probably on the borderline. I'm on the fence. Like I won't be surprised if Andy and Pat bring another one home, but I think Philly has the team to be the champs.
Kyle, you got anything else?
I'm all set. Thank you for the time.
Thank you,
Appreciate
fellas.
it.